Okay, so why do I have a full MIDI ska arrangement of the song Forever Young on my phone? I can explain. And I guess it starts with my history with the song itself. I grew up sharing a room with my older brother, who's like 10 years older than me, and that was from the ages when I was like probably 3 to like 9. So that was probably really fun for him as a teenager growing up sharing a room with a 3 through 9-year-old. But unsurprisingly, he would control the music selection in our room together. And that's why I grew up hearing a lot of like Beatles stuff, and I think The Offspring a lot at one point. But he also played a lot of random 80s music. So I remember hearing Forever Young specifically because the song was so sad. Like just hearing it kind of made me want to cry. And I didn't understand what it was about. It's like, I guess like the Cold War and like worrying about mutually assured destruction. I had no idea about that when I was like 6. But there was just so much sadness in like the chords and the melody that it literally made me want to cry. I don't know if I did cry, but it was just like the saddest song I ever heard. So I'll never forget it for that reason. But in terms of why I made it into a ska arrangement, it was actually because, so maybe in like 2011 or something, I was driving to Hodad's in downtown San Diego with my sister, listening to 91X, and the song that came on the radio kind of changed it all for me, and it was the cover of Come On Eileen by Save Ferris. And it's funny because that's not even the first ska cover of an 80s song that I ever heard. By that point in my life, I had already heard 99 Luftballons by Goldfinger, and I had also heard Take On Me by Real Big Fish. And I don't really like that cover because I think Take On Me is like a pretty song, and I think Real Big Fish's cover is kind of like ugly. But that's another issue, I guess. When I heard Come On Eileen by Save Ferris, it was just like the coolest thing. I don't know. Like I already liked 80s songs because my family had like an 80s hits CD. And like my brother spread it to my sisters, and like we listened to a lot of the like 80s pop hits growing up, which is kind of funny. And I didn't think about this till later, but that was like in the 90s, and we were like, they were already selling like nostalgic 80s greatest hits CDs. And like in the 2000s, I never saw people like doing 90s CDs, and like in the 2010s, I didn't see people like nostalgic for 2000s hits. So it's kind of weird that in like 1996, it's like, ooh, remember the 80s? It's like that was like 7 years ago. I don't remember the 80s, but like surely other older people in 1996 did. But yeah, so we had these like 80s hit CDs, and like every road trip or just like hanging out at home, heard a lot of 80s songs. So I know a lot of the 80s hits and I like them, but somehow I kind of like 80s cover songs even better. Like it kind of like takes it to the next level. And it's funny because it's like cover songs can't exist without the original song, but for me it's like cover songs kind of transcend the original. And I also think that ska is just like a really cool genre to cover songs in, and I don't even really like ska that much. I don't really like original ska songs that much. Like I can't really name one. But I think that when you cover a song, whether it's an 80s song or not, in the ska style, it's just like really, really cool. And that's what Come On Eileen by Save Ferris showed me. So then I sprung into action, and I downloaded a free trial of Sibelius, because this was like 2011. I didn't have an iPhone, I didn't have a Mac or GarageBand or anything. So I got Sibelius, and I first made this entire arrangement in Sibelius. And that might still be on my mom's laptop, although she finally replaced that laptop after like 10 years recently. So the original on Sibelius arrangement of this song might be gone forever at this point. But that's okay because I made it and I remembered all of it in my head. So a few years later, I finally did get a smartphone. I got an iPhone, and it had GarageBand on it. And messing around with GarageBand and all like the MIDI instruments and stuff, I decided to like recreate all my old arrangements that I had on Sibelius, which is cool because now that it's on the iPhone, it'll probably live forever, unlike the Sibelius ones which were lost. And I have some other tracks I'm probably going to post here as well. I won't spoil what they are yet, but it was really fun. But the take-home message is, if any ska band ever sees this and wants to record a real version of it or perform it or whatever, that would be the coolest thing ever. And that's kind of my dream, to see this song or one of the other songs I've arranged just played for real, because I've never known a ska band. I don't know any horn players. I play some things myself, but not horns. So I don't know, if before I die, I ever hear any of these songs on real instruments, that would be swell. So spread the word. Thanks for watching.